Joran Sloot just described to you an awful alleged plot. Joran claims he sold Natalee Holloway on a beach in Aruba the night she disappeared. After being given a bag of cash, Joran says he watched Natalee get pulled onto a boat with a stranger. Did you actually see the boat drive away with Natalee? And could you hear her say anything from the boat?
I heard something, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't screaming or anything like that, no.
So what did you do next?
Then I went home. I called Deepak up, and he sent Satish to come pick me up.
Why didn't he come? Do you know?
I think he was chatting on the internet with his girlfriend or something like that. I don't know.
At what point did he get cash?
I always gave them. We went out one night. I paid. Other night he paid, and I gave them both 1,000. I didn't tell them how much I was getting for it first. Afterwards, I told them.
When did you give him the 1,000?
Like a couple days after.
Did you give it to Deepak or Satish?
To both of them when we were in my room, and another friend of mine was there as well.
When was the first time you told your father? You told your father this story, right?
Not everything. No, it's not. We don't talk about it. No, we don't talk about it actually.
Did it ever come up with your father? Because in that chip, he
Yeah.
talks about. He says it's a bad thing to sell somebody. So your father knew about it before the conversation on the chip you gave us.
Yeah.
When was the first time you told him?
A long time after that we were arrested. A while.
Well, in the conversation you and I had on the phone, you told me that you told your father that Natalee Holloway's family showed up the next day, and that they were making a big fuss, and so that your father took you to a lawyer, and that what you told me on the phone is that you told your lawyer and your father at that point.
No, I lied to all of them.
You lied, but did you? So you lied to me when you told me that?
Don't remember telling you that.
Well, I mean, because I tell you, because that was important. That's an important element of it. Is is what did they know at that time?
At that time, they didn't know anything. It's a little later that I told them.
When did you tell them?
Like I don't know, a while after. But for me, that's not the most important part anyway. The most
Oh, it
important part
is.
for me is that you guys look into.
Well, but it is. But the thing is that this I'll tell you why it's important. Because on this tape, on this chip that you gave us, your father says selling girls or whatever is a serious crime. I need your father's help, and so I want to take that to your father and say, look, we need your help to get to the bottom of this. And you've already outed your father on this, so it's like you've already done it on the chip, so there's no sense of protecting him here. And we get back to the same thing. It's like, if you're going to do this, and I mean, we're deep into this already, tell me the truth. Just, I mean, you can't, I mean, you've already included everybody into this, so you're not helping yourself or anybody else at this point. It's out there.
I know.
So when did your father find out?
A while after, like, I don't know exactly when.
Well, were you in jail at the time?
Yeah, I was already arrested.
And when did your lawyer find out?
I told him one time when I got to speak to him alone.
At about what point? And I'll tell you why that's important. You see, look, in order for me to believe you, because you've told other stories, look, you and I have had so many conversations, but the problem is I have to think, like, when are you telling me the truth? Was it when we've spoken privately? Was it when we did the interview, or is it now? So I need to take what you're telling me, and I need to go to your lawyer and say, look, he tells me that he told you this in the summer. Did he? And if the lawyer says yes, then I can say to my company, see, this isn't crazy. This isn't you're on with another story. So that's why I need it. I need for you to say on camera that your lawyer can freely speak to me about this, and so we can corroborate it. That corroborates the chip, so I can go forward.
I understand. Yeah, but I actually don't think that I want to do this anyway. I don't think so.
Why? Why don't you want to tell? Just tell. All we want. Look, I will investigate this till the cows come home.
I know, but what we agreed on first is that I would not actually be in the picture. That was the actual point.
But the problem
is, like you say right now, it's already people already think so much about me that now they think of something else. So.
No, but if you're telling the truth.
Yeah, of course.
Are you telling the truth this time? Well then help me understand it and help me corroborate it. So if she's alive, Joran, this is our last chance. This is 3 years into it, and you know that's a big deal if this young woman's alive. I realize the chances are remote.
Very small. Yeah.
Maybe they aren't though, because you know I've gone online, and surprisingly, the State Department, the U.S. State Department, says there's something like 700,000 or 800,000 people sold into slavery every year, which is bizarre to me. But if what you say is true, that you sold her, and that she went into some sort of slavery or something, I realize it's remote, but maybe she is. This is the last chance.
Yeah.
And so so you can sort of cleanse yourself and be done with it, and we will eagerly, we'll investigate it. And you can do what you want, but that at least gives us something to go on. If she's alive.
Yeah, no, I understand, but I mean,
you want her alive, right?
That would be the best thing in the world. I mean, anyway.
Well, you're the only one who can help.
Yeah, but there's different ways that you can look after things. Like I said, if I had $1 million myself, I'd go look into it myself to find out what happened. But that's why it has to be someone like you that's going to look into it. The police are not going to look into it. No one else is going to look into it.
And I will. I mean, you told me, one of the things you told me, and what I want to do is use this with leverage, is that was paid off, and another police officer was paid off by your father.
Yeah, you know something, Greta, though, I don't really want to do this, actually. I don't. This is not actually what we agreed on.
Well, Joran, you can't, I mean, look, if I came halfway across the world, I came halfway across the world because you told me in conversations that you want this investigated. If you're going to bolt on me, I don't believe it.
Okay, then you don't believe it. That's.
I mean, you know what? I really want to investigate it.
Yeah, but if there's one thing I'm not, it's not what I want to be.
Why not?
Not good. It's not what we agreed on, that's all.
What we agreed on is that I would license the chip. The problem is the chip came with issues with it, and so now I'm in the position where I've got to try to tell my company that this is a possibility that this happened, and they're going to say, well, if you won't even corroborate it, that this is all just basically bullshit. This is and I don't know what do I tell them?
I guess you can tell them whatever you want, but I'm not going to go say all that.
I want the truth only.
Yeah, I understand.
Why won't you tell us the truth?
Yeah, because the truth hurts.
Oh, I understand that. I mean, that I get, okay? Yeah. That I get. Sit down a second. Sit down.
I'm going to tell someone that I'm upset, but we can take a break now. At least take a break for a second.
All right, but I understand. You know what, Joran? I understand the truth hurts. And I understand that. I actually do. Coming up, will Joran sit down and continue the interview? Or did we get all the information we could from Joran van der Sloot? That's next. Plus, a twist to the entire story. This could change your mind about everything you have heard so far tonight. That's coming up.